Hey, this is Adam West. I've been trying for the last 2 weeks to create a video that I felt like captured everything I wanted to say when introducing what will be my life's work. But I realized that I'm better at just filming a video in an environment that I'm comfortable in and just telling you really what's on my mind. So here it goes. My name is Adam West. You may have seen me before promoting different things, but this is about raising money for something called The Resistance. It will be a group of urban gardens that does something pretty fantastical. So let me tell you first about who I am so you get an idea of, how these thoughts could emerge, or the things that I've seen that have led me to this point, and also how qualified I am to do something like this. So I was born in St. Louis, Missouri. When I was about 2 years old, my parents, the best way to say it is they followed God's voice to Indianapolis on basically a will and a prayer. They left in a car that leaked gasoline. My mom was 8 months pregnant. I had an older brother. I was 2 years old. They got there and they were homeless. So they were homeless in Indianapolis for a while. And through God's grace and dedication and direction, they were able to move forward from there. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with like 6 and 7 people. We eventually moved into a house. I went to Northwest High School. Shout out to Northwest graduates everywhere. But at the time I went, we had a 70% dropout rate. A lot of people don't realize that. 70% was the dropout rate when I was there. I graduated third in my class. And was able to go to DePaul University on full scholarship. Shout out to all my DePaul grads. At DePaul, especially around my senior year, I started to kind of get these inklings or thoughts in my head about kind of what I wanted to make my life's work, and I knew that it was so important for me to help people. But I also met my wife my senior year, and I ended up getting married, and I'm not the sort that believes that you should leave certain things to chance, so I didn't just strike it out and try a random thing. I went and got a sure thing, which was a job in the financial sector. Worked that for a couple years, became a licensed stockbroker, and I was able to actually work and live in Indianapolis and Orlando, Florida with that job. But the whole time I was volunteering, the whole time I was giving back for different reasons. And what I eventually ended up doing was, somebody's about to walk in here. Yeah, so I'm gonna pick up where I left off. Bottom line is, I quit my job. I moved from Orlando, Florida to Chicago. And it was really off of just prayer, because I didn't have anything. The job was an AmeriCorps job, paid me $15,000 a year. I was able to work in Black and Hispanic neighborhoods predominantly, but in a lot of poor neighborhoods, and I was able to give back full time. And by being able to give back full time, I was able to see things that I otherwise would not have seen. People talk about policing or ineffective media coverage. I saw a lot of things like that firsthand, and those are the things that most people hear about, but I saw a lot of other things as well. I'll tell you about those in just a second. I really need to just get through what I did after that. So I graduated again from another college. I went to National Louis University. Shout out to my National Louis graduates. I graduated from there and ended up working full-time as a teacher on the city's south side, Roseland neighborhood. And after that, I left the city and I moved to Houston, where I am currently. I'm still a Title I public school teacher, which I love. I love my job. But I just wanted to say that even after moving here, I noticed a similar issues rather, that I saw in the last 3 cities I've been in. It's still issues with you know, media, police, whatever. Those are the buzzword items now, you know. But the big thing I saw was in a lot of the communities, especially the very, very underprivileged communities, there's a lack of morality. There's no code of conduct that really exists there. There are lies and deceit that's taking place from people in power and the people without it. It's rampant greed, you know. And one of the worst things is there's a lack of organization. You know, everyone that I've known that has been successful, everyone, they've had some type of moral compass and they've had some type of direction in their lives. And I'm one of them. You know, people that you see me associate myself with are usually people that have some type of direction in their lives. And a lot of the places and communities I've seen, they don't have that direction. If you could take care of all those problems, if you could deal with all those things I just listed, you would have much change in our nation. But I'm here to tell you that there's something else. Excuse me. There's something else that is taking place right now that people are not talking about. It's kind of like that monster in the closet, and you don't want to go open the closet because then he's gonna get you. Okay, and that is heart disease and obesity are killing far more people than homicides or any type of violent murders. If you want to look at the data, go look at it. 2015, approximately 15,500 or 15,600 people were killed in the United States. In that same time frame, approximately 600,000 people were killed from heart disease. 600,000 people. To put that in perspective, that is more people than all of the murders that took place in a year on Earth, the whole planet. So what that tells me is the thing that's killing us is not this violence, it's the food we're putting in our mouths. It's the food we are putting in our mouths. And me as a fitness expert, when I see this, you know, I just, what? I call myself a fitness expert. Let me not say that. Because some people are looking like, you're not a fitness expert. Okay, I'm a fitness professional, okay? So a fitness professional, I'm like, that is unbelievable. This is something that we can definitely change. But when you look at the data, it's hard to change something like this when there are food deserts. So you want to see something amazing, look at a map of Chicago, food desert map in Chicago. You're gonna see a lot of crazy things. You're gonna be like, what? I didn't even know this existed. To put it in perspective, in 2012, the USDA released a study that said approximately 29.7 million people were living in food deserts in the United States. A food desert means that, excuse me again, a food desert means that, you know, you can travel for a mile. A lot of the people that live in food deserts don't have access to a vehicle. So there's no place to eat within a mile that gives fresh produce, fresh fruits and vegetables or whole foods. This is a problem. This means that there are people in our country right now that would like to make a healthy meal, but they can't even make that choice because they actually have no access to fresh produce. This is something that we can change, and that's what the resistance plans to do. It's called the resistance as a resistance to dependence, as a resistance to bigotry, as a resistance to immorality, as a resistance to hatred. That's why I titled it that. But what it really plans to do is start an urban garden like none that have come before it. This urban garden will be a place not only where we grow crops, or fruits and vegetables. I live down south now, so I can grow, you know, citrus fruits, anything of that sort. Got all year growing season. But not only can we grow things like that, we can also use it as a meeting place. I want to use it as a place where professors can come and teach about a local cultural history. I want to use it as a place where dentists and doctors can come and teach about hygiene, you know. I want to use it as a place where fitness professionals can come teach about health and wellness. I want to use it as a place where people who are financial planners can come teach about retirement and saving. This is going to be something that changes the structure of our community, but there's one thing that also needs to be added to that mix, that without it, I don't believe you're going to see the change that you need, and that is this. No movement has ever been successful, in my opinion, absent of a moral focus. You can look at Gandhi, you can look at Malcolm X, you can look at whoever you like, but without some type of code of conduct given to the people, it will not be successful. For me, that has always been Jesus Christ, and having a salvation through Him and having a direction through Him. It has always allowed me to make I don't always make the right decisions, but I've always known what the right decision was, right? Giving that to people will change the outcome of that community, especially when you pair it with providing for the physical needs. So what I'm telling you is that if we include morality, give them a moral compass, and also take care of the physical needs and make it physically sustainable, we can actually achieve a new type of community, one that shows and expresses love, but also one that really is focused in a direction. And I think that's the thing that we have been missing in a lot of the communities that we've lived in. Now, it would be based on Christian principles. No one would ever have to be forced to be a believer in Christ to accept food. That's crazy, right? No one would ever have to be forced to be of a certain color or creed to accept food. It's crazy. But I would like to start it in a black community. And I just say that because that was the people I was born into, but it would not end there. If this is a successful endeavor, this motto can be used again and again and again to spread the love of God to communities all across the country. And it's the type of motto that can be easily tailored to the needs of the specific people that live in the communities. Okay, I'm gonna chop that again. Look, if this is something you can get behind it, people. Don't say that there's problems in the black community or the Hispanic community or any other community, poor white community. Don't say there's a problem and then not give something like this. This is an idea that can be replicated from one community to the next. It's an idea that would actually make our communities more sustainable, and it would fight against the people that are trying to take control of our food. It would fight against the lives that are lost through heart disease. And I believe with a moral focus and direction, it would fight against the loss of life through the violence. I think this is something that can truly change our communities, but again, to be clear, this is a movement. I think it could truly change the direction of our nation. Please give, and do it right now. Have a happy New Year, people.